Chapter 11 Mammoth, Surrounded by Springtails. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My lovely springtails, the Lord has come to visit you. In the previous battles, you performed very bravely. Keep up the good work and create glory with me. Subai left the territory and joined the 10 springtails outside. Next, a surprising scene happened. As if sensing Subai's care, the springtails raised their heads and ran quickly. They seemed a little excited, circling back and forth around Subai's body. Tip: springtails enter a state of excitement, and their combat power is temporarily increased by 20%. I threw it, and it still has this effect. Subai looked happy, with a smile on his face. It seems that both humans and Zerg like to hear some words of encouragement. Now, the Zergling's combat power has been increased. You must seize this opportunity and kill more wild monsters. Follow me and continue killing enemies. Subai waved his hand and led 10 springtails towards the wilderness ahead. A few moments, a huge roar sounded. At the end of the horizon, a huge figure appeared. Judging from its outline, it looks like an elephant. The body is 5 meters long and about 3 meters high. It has a huge head and extremely strong muscles. It has black mane all over its body, tall shoulders on its back, and 2 white tusks curling outward. Holy shit, such an awesome elephant. Subai was slightly stunned, with a hint of shock in his eyes. Mammoth, quality, excellent. Level, LV7. Introduction. Mammoths were originally docile animals, but under the influence of an evil force, they mutated and became extremely violent. Damn it, I encountered a level 7 beast so quickly. The springtail is only level 1. Can I beat it? Seeing the mammoth running wildly this way, Subai's expression suddenly became hesitant. Although the quality of springtails is at the highest myth level, their combat power is also as high as level 3. However, the level is a bit low after all, only level 1. The mammoth in front of me looks extremely ferocious and of a high level, so it should be difficult to deal with. Otherwise, retreat temporarily to avoid its sharp edge. Wait until there are more advanced units, or the level of the springtails rises, before fighting them. Prepare to withdraw. Before the word retreat could be uttered, 10 springtails beside him scratched the ground with their front hooves and let out low roars. Subai was slightly startled. He seemed to feel the strong fighting spirit erupted by the springtails. If that's the case, let's fight. I'm not afraid of springtails. As a lord, what do I have to be afraid of? Springtails attack. Subai shouted loudly. In an instant, these 10 springtails were like wild horses, running forward quickly. Opposite, the mammoth roared. He raised his thick thighs, picked up his sharp tusks, and charged forward like a hill. Subconsciously, Subai put his hand on the semi-automatic pistol at his waist. However, if this mammoth giant really rushes to the front, I'm afraid that pistol bullets alone can't even break through its thick and hard surface skin. Between the electric light and flint, the distance between the two sides quickly closed. At the moment of contact, 10 springtails stamped on the ground, a pair of scythes standing high on their backs. Then, their bodies jumped several meters high and landed directly on the back of the mammoth, used sharp teeth and claws to attack wildly. Roar! The mammoth was in pain and shook its body wildly, trying to shake off the springtail from its back. Then, the springtail's claws pierced into the mammoth's muscles. No matter how violently it struggled, the springtail remained motionless like a sea-fixing needle. That's it, the springtails bite like crazy. After a while, the mammoth was scarred and stained with blood. Next moment, it could no longer hold up and fell to the ground, raising clouds of smoke and dust. A ball of light the size of a goose egg rose from the mammoth's body and floated about 1 meter above the ground. Strong beast soul. Quantity, 1. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 30. Are springtails so powerful? Subai froze on the spot, his eyes full of shock. Such a swift attack is really amazing. Jumped directly to the back of the giant elephant, leaving it unable to fight back. It has to be said that the springtails still have a certain combat IQ. Moreover, if you kill high-level beasts, you will get more souls. A level 7 mammoth can explode with 30 souls, which is not bad. Unlike the steppenwolf I encountered before, if you kill one, you can only explode 1 soul. At this time, the system's mechanical synthesized sound sounded. Congratulations to the Lord. With the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of souls obtained has increased by 10 times. Soul plus 300. That's great. So delicious. The corners of Su-Bai's mouth rose, and his face almost burst into laughter. With the blessing of the prayer buff, it is now equivalent to killing 10 mammoths. Stimulate. It takes no effort at all, 10 times the explosion rate and 10 times the resources. The super buff obtained through this prayer can last for a month. This month, it was so exciting. Ahead, 10 springtails swarmed up, eating the flesh and blood of the mammoth. Eat well and regain your strength, then we can start the next fight. Have you eaten and drank enough? Let's continue working. Su-Bai looked at Springtail and said with a smile. At this time, there was a ding. The system prompt sounded again. Tip, explode the item and get 10 primary energy gems. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of primary energy gems obtained has increased by 10 times. Elementary energy gem plus 100. In addition to the soul, I also exploded something new. It's really developed, primary energy gem. This is a good thing. It can be used to upgrade buildings in the territory and many other functions. 100 pills at one time, great fun. Moreover, I have learned relevant knowledge in the military area before. Beasts of similar quality and level like the mammoth can only explode 1 to 3 primary energy gems at most. Now, 10 of them burst out at once. It must be because the 10x explosion rate has increased the probability and quantity of materials being exploded. The resources obtained in the end are doubled again 10 times, directly to 100. This level of comfort can be called ecstasy, making people a little intoxicated. At this moment, another system prompt sounded. Tip, building upgrade has been enabled. Su-Bai's eyes lit up and he quickly opened the barracks page. Barracks, level, LV1, quality, the ultimate myth, function, basic recruiting building, recruiting territory-specific troops. Tip, you can recruit for free once a day. The level of the recruited troops is the same as the level of the barracks, and the quality is also the same. Required for upgrade, 500 wood, 500 stone, 50 primary energy gems. Next level, shorten the free recruitment time and increase the probability of recruiting high-level troops. Tip, the building level cannot be higher than the territory level, otherwise the upgrade will fail. Chapter 12 Koishikawa Shun, wants to cry but has no tears. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The building upgrade function is finally enabled. Su-Bai murmured to himself, with a hint of excitement in his eyes, only by raising the level of the barracks can troops with a higher initial level be recruited. It is even possible to recruit high-level troops. Not many resources are required to upgrade. 500 wood, 500 stone, 50 primary energy gems. At this moment, Su-Bai already has 2 of the above 3 resources. Only 500 stones are needed and everything is ready. I'm afraid it's not an easy task for other lords to gather enough resources. Su-Bai stood there with a happy smile on his face. He sighed once again. The Zerg creator is really awesome. The first time you pray, you can get such a powerful buff. However, you have to wait until the territory reaches level 2 before you can upgrade the barracks. There is also a reminder below the barracks. The building level cannot be higher than the territory level, otherwise the upgrade will fail. It has been almost 10 minutes since the worker bees went out to look for stone, I believe. It won't take long to collect the stones. My upgrade speed must be considered the fastest among all the new lords. Su-Bai's eyes shone with confidence. After all, not even an hour has passed since entering the land of redemption. When the worker bees collect stones, the territory will be upgraded. Maybe it can also trigger some special achievements. Now, on a mountain that is not very tall. Yoshi, the power of hellfire is extremely powerful. Koishikawa Shun, will definitely bring glory to the Japanese Empire. Whether it is the Dragon Kingdom or the American Kingdom, they will all be trampled under my feet by the Japanese Empire. The legendary Japanese lord with a demonic race, Koishikawa Shun, had just led hellfire to kill a level 4 saber-toothed tiger. Therefore, he was elated and in an extremely high mood. However, when he saw the prompt information in front of him, his brows instantly furrowed. The previous pride and arrogance suddenly disappeared. Strong beast soul, quantity, 1. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 20, tip, explode the item and get 1 primary energy gems. Baga, the explosion rate is too low. I just got a primary energy gem. How long will it take to save enough resources to upgrade the barracks? Koishikawa Shun clenched his fists and looked a little irritable. Fantasy is beautiful, reality is cruel. The lords wanted to become bigger and feed their country back. You must have sufficient resources so that you can upgrade your territory and buildings and recruit more advanced troops. Then, these advanced units can kill stronger monsters and harvest more resources. Only in this way can a positive cycle be formed. Koishikawa Shun's ambitions are very great. Not only does he want to compete for the first place in the ranking of new lords, but he also wants to trample both the Dragon Kingdom and the American Kingdom under his feet. However, the current speed of resource acquisition simply cannot meet his expectations. Unexpectedly, the development speed of the legendary quality lord's mark was not as fast as expected. Koishikawa Shun adjusted his mood and was planning to continue killing monsters with hellfire. At this time, the system prompt sounded suddenly. Tip. The farmer chopped down a small tree and collected 80 pieces of wood. Wood plus 80. We only collected 80 units of wood on Bagaya Road. It's so inefficient. The farmers must be lazy. Koishikawa Shun looked angry and ordered the farmers to stand in front of him. Afterwards, all kinds of ugly curse words were spewed out. Suddenly, a reminder flashed. Tip. Farmers work hard, are unfairly blamed, and complain slightly to the Lord. Loyalty -3. Baga, how could this happen? Koishikawa Shun was numb, his face was dull, his whole body was stiff, and he was so surprised that it felt like a thunder exploded above his head. You know, in the land of redemption, the loyalty of troops is very important. If it drops to a certain value, defection may occur. On the contrary, if a soldier's loyalty reaches full value, his combat power will increase accordingly. Farmer sang, "It was my fault just now. It's hard work logging, please take a rest quickly." Koishikawa Shun put on a smiling face and quickly curried favor with the farmers. However, the loyalty of the farmers did not return. After all, farmers are not fools. If they are slapped and given a jujube to eat, they will not fall for this trick. Koishikawa Shun felt like crying but had no tears. From now on, I will never seek death again. In a dense forest. Congratulations to Lord Baimengyu for discovering the wooden treasure chest. After opening it, he obtained 20 primary energy gems. Wow, my luck is so good. Looking at the prompt information in front of her, Baimengyu smiled sweetly, revealing 2 shallow dimples. Not long ago, Baimengyu had just finished killing the wild monsters and was about to leave. Suddenly I found an extremely thick old locust tree. When I got closer, I saw that there was a tree hole behind, hiding a wooden treasure chest. In the future, I must keep my eyes open and explore more nooks and crannies. Maybe there will be additional gains. Baimengyu thought, if you just rely on killing monsters, it will be a bit laborious and time-consuming. Picking up treasure chests is different. It's like pie in the sky. You can harvest a lot of resources at once. It can be regarded as a new way. Maybe with a lot of luck, one's own strength will improve rapidly. The next task is to upgrade all the territories and barracks to level 2 as soon as possible. In this case, the safety factor will increase linearly. Baimengyu's eyes sparkled, and his thoughts were particularly clear. Then, he took 6 blood elf archers and killed monsters while exploring the treasure chest. Orc warriors, charge at me! Zhao Xiangtian shouted and ordered 4 orc infantry to break into the dark cave in front of him. He believes that there must be a monster when something goes wrong. Surrounded by bare mountains, only here is a cave. Maybe there's some good stuff hidden inside. It's very possible that it's even an artifact. How about, what did you find? Zhao Xiangtian stood at the entrance of the cave and shouted loudly. Of course, he also kept an eye on it. He just ordered the orc infantry to go in, while he stayed outside the cave. After all, it is also convenient to escape if you are in danger, at this time. Roar! A hoarse roar sounded. Take a closer look. It turned out to be a furbolg of excellent quality and up to level 20. Damn it, I'm so unlucky. Such a high-level monster is so unlucky. Chao Xiangtian quickly changed direction and ran quickly. Orc warriors, run! The furbolg's eyes were red and he was chasing after him. The 4 orc infantry were beaten back and forth. Finally, after paying the arm of an orc infantryman, Zhao Xiangtian escaped back to his territory. The furbolg frantically slapped the light film outside its territory. After a while, exhausted, it turned around and left. Zhao Xiangtian gasped for air and his whole body felt numb. The place of salvation is too dangerous. Chapter 13 Territory Upgrade, Triggering Achievements. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Congratulations to Lord Su Bai. Your worker bee found a boulder and collected 150 stones. Congratulations to the Lord, with the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of stones obtained has increased by 10 times. Stone plus 1500. Fuck, without looking at the prompt information in front of him, Su Bai was immediately ecstatic. The little worker bees collect big stones, so awesome. At this moment, the most scarce resource is stone. Unexpectedly, after just 3 minutes of waiting, the worker bees collected the stones. I have to say that level 99 mining skills are awesome. Of course, the most important thing is to pray for the buff, otherwise, the 150 units of stones collected would not be enough to upgrade the territory. Su Bai was thinking about what would happen if the number of worker bees increased in the future. Then with level 99 logging and mining skills, you will be able to find resources very quickly and collect them efficiently. When the time comes, resources will continue to flow in. I'm afraid I'll wake up smiling while dreaming, as long as there are enough resources. You can upgrade your territory and buildings, then recruit higher level and stronger grade troops. By then, the development of the territory will be on track. I don't have to worry too much anymore. It would be great to be able to retire early and enjoy life after lying down. Then, Su Bai checked the resource page. Soul, 550, wood, 3000, stone, 1500, iron, 0, elementary energy gem, 100, I lost it. Cool. So many resources. Su Bai smiled broadly. At this moment, it has not been more than an hour since we entered the land of redemption. Most of the new lords probably do not have 1/10 of their total resources. Of course, nothing is absolute. It is not ruled out that some lords who are extremely lucky will receive some special opportunities. For example, as soon as you go out, you pick up a treasure chest. But luck is too elusive and insubstantial. Furthermore, there are almost only ordinary quality wooden treasure chests around the territory at the beginning. Even if something can be opened, it won't be too precious. Therefore, from a practical point of view, it is more reliable and powerful to have 10 times the explosion rate and 10 times the resources. Now, the territory can be upgraded. Su Bai opened the territory information page. Territory, Su Bai, level, LV1, area, 500 square meters, completeness, 100%, territorial buildings, level 1 barracks, level 1 manor, level 1 warning arrow tower, required for upgrade, 1000 wood, 500 stones, 100 souls, tip. The resources required for the upgrade have been prepared. Do you want to upgrade? Su Bai muttered silently. Upgrade, wood 1000. Stone 500. Soul 100. Immediately afterwards, the entire territory was enveloped in a faint white light. Waves of smoke and dust rose, accompanied by a loud noise. The territory is expanding. Su Bai looked around and was surprised to find that the ground under his feet became more porcelain. The dilapidated cabin in the middle has also become slightly newer. At least, there is no ventilation. Su Bai thought to himself that every long night from now on, he could finally sleep peacefully. A few moments, there was a ding. The system's mechanical synthesized sound rang in my ears. Congratulations to Lord Su Bai, the territory has been successfully upgraded. The territory level reaches LV2. Territorial area increased by 500 square meters. Yes, as the territory expands, more buildings can be placed in the future to accommodate more soldiers. Su Bai's eyes lit up and he nodded with satisfaction. Moreover, after the territory reaches level 2, the buildings, barracks, and manors in the territory can also be upgraded. Let's see how many resources are needed to upgrade the territory to the next level. Su Bai checked the territory information again. Territory, Su Bai. Level, LV2, area, 1000 square meters, completeness, 100%, territorial buildings, level 1 barracks, level 1 manor, level 1 warning arrow tower, required for upgrade, 3000 wood, 2000 stones, 200 souls, 100 primary energy gems. There are still a lot of things to be done to upgrade the territory to the next level, but with the prayer buff, it is very simple. Subai thought for a moment, and his eyes showed strong confidence. Perhaps the other lords in the land of redemption still need to work hard, logging, mining, and leading soldiers to kill monsters day and night. As for you, you only need to put in a little effort to gain 10 times the resources. I have to say that praying at the beginning and getting this buff is really important. Only if it develops rapidly at the beginning can it survive in the future, coupled with the powerful interstellar Zerg. There will definitely be no problem in galloping throughout the redemption land in the future. Restore the power of China this year. At this time, there was a ding. A system announcement resounded throughout the redemption land. Announcement: Su Bai, the new lord of the Dragon Kingdom, has successfully upgraded his territory to LV2. He is the first lord among the new lords this year to have a level 2 territory. Announcement: Congratulations to Su Bai, the new lord of the Dragon Kingdom, for achieving the first to upgrade achievement and receiving a special reward, a random building blueprint. In an instant, just like a stone striking thousands of waves, the new lords of various countries were all shocked. Not only that, even the old lord who came to the land of redemption was shocked. After all, it is simply incredible that the territory can be upgraded to level 2 in such a short period of time. Bai Mengyu led 6 blood elf archers and were resting in the territory, replenishing food and drinking water. When she heard the system announcement, she was shocked, and her beautiful eyes were filled with shock. The first person to upgrade his territory to level 2 will be Su Bai. However, although his lord mark is at the epic level, his native race is the Zerg. How can he be so powerful? No matter what is bound to Su Bai is the Zerg, a globally recognized waste race. Its military strength is almost zero. How did Su Bai quickly accumulate enough resources to upgrade his territory? Especially those 100 souls, you have to kill many wild monsters to collect them all. Moreover, it has just arrived at the land of redemption, not long after. It is simply incredible that Su Bai upgraded so quickly and became the first lord in the world to upgrade. The more he thought about it, the more confused he became, and Bai Mengyu couldn't figure it out. Suddenly, her eyes lit up and she thought of a possibility. Is it possible that his lord's mark is at the legendary level like mine? Or maybe its Zerg has mutated and is different from others? No matter what, there must be some unknown reason for being able to upgrade first. Su Bai, you guy, you hide so deeply. I'm so worried about you. Next time I see you, I'll hit your head with a small rubber ball. Chapter 14 The Japanese Lord questioned cheating. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the same time, Zhao Xiangtian was in the territory, bandaging the wound of the orc infantryman who had lost his arm. When the announcement of the land of redemption appeared, his pupils shrank sharply, and he was so surprised that it felt like a thunder exploded above his head. He murmured to himself, his eyes full of shock. The first person to upgrade his territory to level 2 is actually Su Bai. How is this possible? On the day of his awakening, he witnessed with his own eyes that Su Bai's epic level lord mark matched the Zerg race. Zerg. This is a race of waste recognized all over the world. The teacher spoke very clearly during class. The units of the Zerg tribe are all enlarged versions of bugs on Blue Star, such as squirrels, ants, dung beetles and other garbage. These arms have negative combat effectiveness, therefore, it is difficult for most Zerg lords to survive the novice stage. However, now Su Bai miraculously became the first person to upgrade his territory. Those 100 souls have to be worked out for real. Without powerful troops, it is absolutely impossible to do it. Moreover, how long has it been since entering the land of redemption? Less than an hour. How could Su Bai reach level 2 so quickly with a garbage Zerg? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Zhao Xiangtian's eyes were slightly red, with a hint of jealousy in them. After all, if your territory reaches level 2 first, you can trigger achievements and receive special rewards. This kid must be lucky enough to pick up a treasure chest when he went out, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to level up so quickly. If he relied solely on his Zerg clan, even a first-level wild boar would not be able to deal with it. Luck is only temporary. I, Zhao Xiangtian, have awakened a powerful beast race, and I will definitely become the best among the new lords this year. As he said that, Zhao Xiangtian looked at the sky with a look of determination on his face. Baga, Lord of the Dragon Kingdom. How is this possible? Damn it. The glory of the Japanese Empire was once again snatched away by the people of the Dragon Kingdom. Is this guy named Su by a mythical lord? Otherwise, how could he level up so quickly? After seeing the announcement, the Japanese Lord Koishikawa Shun clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. His eyes were red with hatred and the veins on his neck were exposed. The territory that reaches level 2 first will receive precious rewards. The announcement just now showed that the rewards issued by the system this time are random building blueprints. Architectural blueprints are very valuable, even if it is a random attribute. It is quite rare. What Koishikawa Shun awakened was the legendary Lord Mark, and what was bound to it was a powerful race like demons. He felt very ashamed for not being the first to reach level 2 and bring glory to the Japanese country. At the same time, he was also very unwilling. The only achievement reward of being the first to level up was actually taken away by the Lord of Dragon Kingdom. Wait, no, I remember that this year's intelligence showed that this batch of new lords of the Dragon Kingdom did not have mythical lord marks. Thinking of this, Koishikawa Shun's expression changed and he couldn't help but become even more angry. Even a legendary lord cannot collect all the resources in such a short period of time. Wood and stone can be brought into the land of redemption by Blue Star, but for those 100 souls, you must rely on your own strength to kill them bit by bit, not to mention killing so many wild monsters in such a short period of time. Even encountering so many wild monsters is impossible. After all, he had just arrived in the land of redemption, and there were very few monsters around the territory. Baga, the Lord of the Dragon Kingdom, is very treacherous. He must have used some shady means to make rapid progress and upgrade his territory to level 2 as soon as he entered. At this moment, not only all the new lords were shocked, but even the official lords were amazed. In the chat channel, everyone was talking to each other, and it was like a pot exploding. It was very heated. Dragon Kingdom has produced such a powerful new lord this year. Oh my god, it seems that the number 1 in the list of new lords will definitely be from the Dragon Kingdom. This kid is so evil. Within an hour after entering the land of redemption, he was promoted to level 1 territory. Yes, wood and stone have initial resource packages provided by the state, but the souls can only be killed by the Lord himself. Upgrading requires 100 souls, but you have to really fight them out. I just want to say, awesome. He must have obtained a very advanced military unit, otherwise he wouldn't be so powerful. Baga, you damn Dragon Nation people, your conscience is so bad. What kind of shameful tricks did you use? None of the legendary lords of our great Japanese empire have accumulated enough 100 souls. This Lord of the Dragon Kingdom must be cheating. That's right, we in the United States agree with the Japanese people's point of view. It must be some kind of underhanded trick, cheating, or cheating done by the Dragon Kingdom. Damn it, little devil, American guy, this is not a game, you try to cheat on me. What the hell, why is this cheating? Do you need to turn on a modifier? You kid, you are really mentally retarded. Please speak with some intelligence and cheat. I laughed. This is the pure strength of our Dragon Kingdom. This year, the Dragon Kingdom will surely rise. For a time, the new lords and official lords of the Dragon Kingdom were all highly motivated and excited. After all, if the Dragon Kingdom can produce a strong lord, it will bring great benefits to the entire country. The most obvious thing is that if you can achieve some special achievements and trigger a reward that increases the lifespan of all the people in the country, that would be quite cool. After all, both ordinary people and lords can benefit. It can be said that everyone is happy, which is the best. A minute ago, in a certain high-level realm in the land of redemption, Guo Jing and Wang Jingguo were sitting opposite each other, talking about this year's situation. I don't know if our Dragon Kingdom lords can break into the top 3 in the ranking of new lords this year. Guo Jing frowned slightly, with a hint of worry in his eyes. It would be great if we can top the list. In this case, we will have greater hope of catching up with the United States. Wang Jingguo looked hopeful, looking forward to a bright future. Isn't this what I'm looking forward to? Guo Jing said immediately. Last year, the United States topped the list. Not only did the lords receive special rewards, but the United States also received huge national fortune rewards. It unlocked a high-tech space technology, making breakthroughs in the United States aerospace, high-precision missiles, etc. development of. As he said this, Wang Jingwa couldn't help but sigh. The two newly awakened legendary lords this year have good military types. They should be in the top 10 of the list, so there should be no problem. Guo Jing felt a little heavy in his heart and deliberately changed the topic, although, as long as you can enter the top 10 of the new lord rankings, the country where the lord is located will receive corresponding rewards. However, the higher the ranking, the richer the reward. The reward for the top spot is even more astonishing, and can even exceed the sum of the other 9 places. For example, last year, 4th on the list was a Dragon Kingdom lord. Therefore, the Dragon Kingdom received a reward of 10 tons of grain. However, for a populous and grain-producing country like China, this kind of reward is simply dispensable. Just when the two of them were melancholy, suddenly, the announcement of the Land of Redemption sounded. After seeing the information above, the two of them were shocked and extremely shocked. Chapter 15 National Fortune Rewards, Increased Lifespan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Beyond all the new lords in the world, the first one to upgrade his territory to level 2 is Su Bai. If I remember correctly, his race seems to be Zerg, right? Guo Jing's eyes widened with shock on his face. It has not been long since these new lords entered the Land of Redemption. How could someone raise the territory to level 2 so quickly? Moreover, this person is also the Lord of the Dragon Kingdom, a Dragon Kingdom lord who is bound to the waste race. Yes, I personally picked up Su Bai. His race is Zerg. Wang Jingwa was shocked, with a look of disbelief in his eyes. Even though Su Bai awakened the epic Lord Mark, the race he was born with was the Zerg, a Zerg with almost no fighting power. This is simply unbelievable. This is a miracle. With only the enlarged versions of caterpillars, 7-star ladybugs, and earthworms, we can actually collect 100 souls to upgrade our territory in such a short period of time. Guo Jing was amazed, his eyes filled with brilliance. Wang Jingwa pondered for a moment, then said, "You got a semi-automatic pistol for him. Is it because of this?" Absolutely impossible. Guo Jing shook his head and said without hesitation, "A semi-automatic pistol can only deal with level 1 or 2 monsters, and you have to kill them one by one slowly. How can you collect so many souls in an hour?" When you said that, I remembered another incredible point. When a new lord first entered the Land of Redemption, there were not many wild monsters around the territory. In just 1 hour, it would be difficult even if he wanted to encounter so many wild monsters. Wang Jingwa scratched his head, puzzled. This is really amazing. How did Su Bai do it? Is it possible that he is really cheating? Thinking of this, Wang Jingwa couldn't help but laugh. The Land of Redemption is not a game world, so how can there be such a thing as cheating? No matter what, this is something that is beneficial to our Dragon Kingdom. I remember that if you achieve the first to upgrade achievement, certain rewards will be given to the country where the Lord is located. As he said that, Guo Jing's face showed a trace of expectation. Mosquitoes are meat no matter how small they are. Even the national luck rewards are sometimes trivial things, but something is better than nothing. It always gives people something to look forward to, and maybe you're lucky and you can get some surprising rewards. This is also a good sign. It's a good start and things will get smoother and smoother in the future. Wang Jingwa's lips raised with joy. You are right. Su Bai winning the first place will greatly increase the morale of our Dragon Kingdom, which is a great thing. Guo Jingzai said with a smile. By the way, confidentiality measures must be taken to protect Su Bai's relevant information. Otherwise, those foreign forces will come over like flies smelling meat. Wang Jingwa thought for a moment and then spoke. Guo Jing nodded and said, "Convey the order and immediately transfer Su Bai's files and related information to the highest confidentiality level." As ordered. Wang Jingwa raised his hand and saluted, then turned and left. Guo Jing stared at the sky in the distance and murmured to himself, "Su Bai, this kid, seems to be hiding something. It's really curious. When the novice period is over, I must ask him clearly." At the same time, countries in the world such as the United States, Japan, ASEAN, the Hanming, and Mao Xiong have all seen this system announcement. none of their domestic leaders could sit still, immediately issued an order to their respective intelligence departments to investigate all the background information of Su Bai, the Lord of the Dragon Kingdom. Of course, what they don't know is that Wu Jing has issued an order to keep Su Bai's files and various information confidential to the highest level. Therefore, intelligence personnel from other countries are destined to make a vain trip and return without success. At this time, within the Dragon Kingdom, suddenly there was a sound like the sound of nature. Announcement: Su Bai, the new Lord of the Dragon Kingdom, has successfully upgraded his territory to LV2. He is the first lord among the new lords this year to have a level 2 territory and has achieved the achievement of first to upgrade. Announcement: Su Bai, the new lord of the Dragon Kingdom, his country, the Dragon Kingdom, has received a national fortune reward. Announcement: Congratulations to all the people of Dragon Kingdom, your life expectancy has increased by 3 months. The voice from the land of redemption rang in the ears of everyone in the Dragon Kingdom. In an instant, the whole Dragon Kingdom was in a state of boiling. When everyone heard this sound, without exception, they were all shocked beyond measure. After all, this year's new lord has just entered the land of redemption, but so quickly, he went up to the challenge, got rid of the lords of other countries, and brought rewards to the Dragon Kingdom. This is simply too powerful. Many people stopped what they were doing and called the elderly at home to tell them the good news. 3 months of life is neither long nor short. Young people may feel insignificant, but for those elderly people, it is undoubtedly a life-extending medicine. If you can live for 3 more months, you can spend more time with your loved ones. If you can live for 3 more months, you might be able to catch up with the next lifespan improvement reward. In this case, it is very possible to extend the lifespan by 1, 2 years, or even longer. Compared with national luck rewards such as cutting-edge technology, lifespan improvement is the simplest but also the most intuitive one. After all, for most people, cutting-edge technology cannot directly affect their lives in a short period of time. However, an increase in lifespan is a real and most direct blessing. For a time, the entire Dragon Kingdom was immersed in an atmosphere of joy, excitement, and joy. All over the country, all TV media, self-media, radio, and newspapers are working overtime to report this incident urgently. The vast number of people in the Dragon Kingdom have already been discussing it enthusiastically on the internet, live broadcast platforms, and short videos. The Dragon Kingdom is mighty, Su Bai is mighty. We, the lords of the Dragon Kingdom, are awesome, and it has greatly boosted the morale of the Dragon Kingdom. Who knows Su Bai's contact information? I have to come to him in person to thank him. My grandfather was almost dead and couldn't stand it anymore. Now he is full of life again. As long as the Lord of the Dragon Kingdom continues to work hard, your grandfather will definitely live for a few more years. Su Bai is really amazing. Not long after entering the land of redemption, he raised the territory to level 2. I heard that upgrading is very difficult. You need to kill a lot of monsters to collect enough resources. From this, it can be seen that Su Bai must be a god of war. I really want to know what little brother Su Bai looks like. My legs are 1.8 meters long. Am I qualified to be his girlfriend? I'm Lolian. Brother Su Bai will definitely like me. Su Bai is still fighting for the country in the land of redemption, so he has no time to fall in love with you. Anyway, from now on, Su Bai will be my idol, my only idol. For a time, Su Bai's popularity soared throughout the Dragon Kingdom. Even those super A-list celebrities have become fans of Su Bai. After all, both rich and poor people want to extend their lifespan and live longer. Chapter 16 Innocent Male High School Student, Love is a Blank Slate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Under the overwhelming news reports, Su Bai's fame is at its peak. Many media outlets came to Su Bai's high school like they were wearing dog noses, sniffing out the scent. For a time, the head teacher Zhang Tao became a busy man. Originally, he was still immersed in shock. Su Bai, a student in his class, was so powerful. Not long after entering the land of redemption, he took the lead in raising the territory to level 2, achieving the achievement of being the first to upgrade earned everyone in the Dragon Kingdom 3 months of life. What happened on the day I woke up is still vivid in my mind. As if it was yesterday, Su Bai awakened the epic level Lord Mark. The race that can be bound to it is actually the Zerg race. A Zerg race with no fighting power and no development prospects can be called a waste race. Recognized by the world, it is simply unbelievable that such a useless race can surpass all the lords in the world and take the lead in upgrading its territory. Although Zhang Tao is not a lord, he is just an ordinary person. However, he has studied the relevant knowledge of the Redemption Land for many years, and already has a clear understanding of the various mechanisms involved to upgrade to a level 2 territory. In addition to resources such as wood and stone, 100 souls are required. When you first enter the Land of Redemption, souls can only be obtained by killing monsters. With the enlarged versions of caterpillars, earthworms, and ladybugs, how could Su Bai defeat those ferocious wild wolves, wild bears, and those murderous monsters? What exactly happened? Su Bai could become so powerful, Zhang Tao felt like his head was about to explode. Excuse me, as Su Bai's homeroom teacher, what kind of person do you think Su Bai is? The reporter's question interrupted Zhang Tao's thoughts and brought him back to reality. He thought for a moment and then said, Su Bai is a child with a reserved personality and is relatively introverted, but he is very diligent and has a strong sense of responsibility for the class. Usually when his classmates encounter difficulties, he will actively go to help. The reporter continued to ask. The students in your class have left behind the new lords all over the world, achieved special achievements, won glory for the Dragon Kingdom, and increased the lifespan of all Dragon Kingdom people by 3 months. As a teacher, how do you feel now? Zhang Tao smiled brightly and said loudly. At this moment, I am very excited. I am very proud to have such an outstanding student. I hope that Su Bai can continue his efforts in the future, create greater value and strive for glory for the Dragon Kingdom. Teacher Zhang, let me ask you one last question. Please say. Excuse me, what is Su Bai's relationship status? Is she currently single? Zhang Tao was stunned for a moment, a little surprised. The reporter's questions were indeed tricky. Su Bai is a simple kid. He devoted all his attention to studying before and has never been in love. Thank you, Teacher Zhang, for today's interview. After leaving, the reporter looked at the interview script in his hand with a big smile on his face. All of a sudden, I can write a hit article worth tens of millions plus. On that day, an article appeared on all major platforms on the internet. Shock. The innocent male high school student, the blank slate of love, the unknown side of the heroic Lord Su Bai, just like a stone causing thousands of waves. This article quickly gained popularity and topped the trending lists on various internet platforms. Likes, comments, and reposts skyrocket like a rocket. Countless young girls regarded Su Bai as their idol and threatened to become the first love of the innocent high school boy. At the same time, the place of redemption, when Su Bai heard the system announcement, a trace of joy appeared in his eyes. Unexpectedly, the general territory was the first to be upgraded to level 2, it can also trigger the Be the First to Upgrade achievement, which rewards a random building blueprint. Not bad. We must work harder in the future and strive to be first, because in the Land of Redemption, the rewards for first place are often very generous, and the lords from all over the world can only remember the person who ranks first. This is very similar to a certain phenomenon. People often remember that the highest peak in the world is Mount Everest, but people are often unfamiliar with the world's second highest peak, or even have no impression of it. Come on. Keep fighting. With that said, Su Bai took out the reward he had just received from the storage space. Blueprint, random building, quality, unknown, introduction, build a building randomly, the type, function, etc. are all random, requires, 3,000 wood, 3,000 stone, 3,000 iron. It requires a lot of resources, but I don't know what buildings can be randomly produced. Su Bai murmured to himself. After all, things like randomness are purely based on luck. It's almost like opening a blind box, you have no idea what you're going to get. However, architectural blueprints are too precious to give up. Now, the territory has the bonus of the prayer buff, get resources quickly and without any problems. Therefore, 3,000 pieces of wood, stone, and iron should be collected quickly. If something good comes out, you can make a lot of money. Then, Su Bai took the random building blueprint back into the storage space. Check out the resources page. Soul, 450, wood, 2,000, stone, 1,000 iron, 0, elementary energy gem, 100. Now, you can upgrade the barracks, Subai muttered silently, and the barracks was upgraded, wood 500. Stone 500. Elementary energy gem, 50. In an instant, the barracks was enveloped in a layer of light. 1 minute later, congratulations to Lord Subai, the barracks has been upgraded successfully. Barracks level reaches LV2. Chapter 17 Upgrading the Barracks to Protect Worker Bees. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Finally, the barracks has been upgraded to level 2, and the soldiers recruited in the future will also be directly at level 2. Subai looked at the upgraded barracks page with a happy face. Barracks, level, LV2, quality, the ultimate myth, function, basic recruiting building, recruiting territory-specific troops, tip, you can recruit for free every 23 hours. The level of the recruited troops is the same as the level of the barracks, and the quality is also the same. Required for upgrade, 2000 wood, 2000 stone, 1000 iron block, 100 primary energy gems. Next level, shorten the free recruitment time and increase the probability of recruiting high-level troops. Tip, the building level cannot be higher than the territory level, otherwise the upgrade will fail. After the upgrade, the free recruitment period of the barracks has changed from the original 24 hours to the current 23 hours, although it is only shortened by 1 hour, the little things add up, and the barracks will be upgraded to a higher level in the future. Maybe you can recruit a unit for free in 1 hour. Upgrading the barracks to level 3 still requires a lot of resources. Although they are currently in short supply, with the blessing of the prayer buff, there shouldn't be a big problem. Subai murmured to himself. At this moment, he hoped to recruit a more advanced unit the next day. That way, even if you accidentally knock down powerful beasts, you still have a chance to kill them and harvest a lot of resources. However, compared to other new lords in the land of redemption, he is already very lucky. Not only does it have powerful interstellar Zerg and ultimate mythical qualities, but it is also possessed by good luck. The rate of obtaining wishes increases by 10 times, and the resources obtained increase by 10 times. These are two powerful bonuses. At this time, the system's mechanical synthesized sound suddenly sounded in my ears. Tip, worker bees are looking for resources and may encounter danger if they leave their territory for 1000 meters. That I lost it. The little worker bee actually ran so far. However, it is most likely because the terrain near the territory is wilderness and various resources such as trees, stone ores, iron blocks, etc. are scarce. In order to find resources, the worker bees expanded their search range to 1000 meters away from their territory. Currently, there is no shortage of souls. There are not many places where the soul is needed. On the contrary, wood, stone, iron. These basic resources have relatively large gaps. Upgrading to level 3 territory requires more wood and stone, which are 3000 and 2000 respectively. The souls and primary energy gems required are not many, 200 and 100 respectively. In particular, a new random building blueprint was obtained. Wood, stone, and iron each cost 3000, which is not a small amount, I have to say, thanks to the 10x resource buff. Otherwise, it is quite difficult to collect thousands of resources in a short period of time. At present, Subai's task is to focus on collecting wood, stone, and iron. As for killing monsters, don't worry yet, because monsters will drop souls and primary energy gems. These two resources are not urgently needed for the time being. No, springtails must be sent to protect the worker bees from mining. Subai murmured to himself. The further away from the territory, the greater the number and strength of the monsters. The combat effectiveness of worker bees is relatively weak. Therefore, if springtails are not sent for protection, it is very likely to be in danger. At that time, it will be a bit troublesome. Once a worker bee dies, resources will be stuck and it will be impossible to build or upgrade buildings. The number of free recruitments in the manor has been used up, and we have to wait until tomorrow before we can continue recruiting. Thinking of this, Subai no longer hesitated. With a big wave of his hand, he shouted, "Springtails, follow me." In the following time, Subai led 10 springtails to find the worker bees, follow the whole process and protect the worker bees in collecting resources. Since the current number of iron blocks is 0, so Subai ordered the worker bees to focus on looking for iron ore. During this period, Su-bai originally wanted to try logging and mining by himself, but because I didn't have the tools, I had to give up. Then, through his thoughts, he wanted to order these 10 springtails to help the worker bees collect resources. However, the springtails expressed a meaning to Su-bai through sensory transmission. Lord, our position in the swarm is a combat unit. There is no such thing as logging or mining in the genetic sequence, so we are powerless and unable to carry out the Lord's orders. That it turned out to be the case, Su-bai suddenly realized. From this point of view, for the interstellar Zerg, the innate genetic sequence determines their abilities and characteristics. As for acquired learning ability, the interstellar race seems a bit weak. It has to be said that among tens of thousands of races, humans have the strongest learning ability. In this way, Su-bai and 10 springtails watched the worker bees working hard. Before I knew it, the sun was setting. In the bright dusk, the light and shadow change rapidly. It's getting dark, it's time to return to the territory. Su-bai raised his head, looked up at the setting sun on the horizon, and murmured to himself. This was explained very clearly in classes in schools and military areas. In the land of redemption, once darkness enters, the danger factor will skyrocket. Therefore, it is better not to be stubborn and return as soon as possible. Retreat. Su-bai waved his hand and ordered the springtails and worker bees to head towards the territory through sensory transmission. Soon. Return safely. Su-bai stood at the door of the cabin in the center of the territory, checking the previous system prompts about worker bees collecting resources. Tip: your worker bees discovered a miniature iron mine and collected 500 iron blocks. Congratulations to the Lord. With the strengthening of the prayer effect, the number of iron blocks obtained has increased by 10 times. Iron plus 5,000. Tip: your worker bees found a 10-year-old willow tree and collected 200 wood. Congratulations to the Lord. With the enhancement of the prayer effect, the amount of wood obtained has increased by 10 times. Wood plus 2,000. Tip: your worker bee found a large round stone and collected 300 stones. Congratulations to the Lord. With the enhancement of the prayer effect, the number of stones obtained has increased by 10 times. Stone plus 3,000. Cool. Seeing a series of doubling reminders, Su-bai had a deep smile on his face. Accumulating resources is too easy. Easily get thousands of resources. This feeling is simply a bit elated. Then, Su-bai opened the resources page. Soul, 450, wood, 3,500. Stone, 3,500. Iron, 5,000. Elementary energy gem, 50. Now, after reaching level 3 territory, all other resources have been prepared, but 50 primary energy gems are still needed. There are enough resources to build random buildings. After thinking for a moment, Su-bai decided not to upgrade the territory yet. After all, the improvement brought about by upgrading the territory requires a steady stream of water, and the effect will only be seen after a long time. Random building blueprints, if you're lucky, can provide immediate results and bring significant improvements to the territory. Chapter 18 Exclusive Buildings, Evolutionary Sequence. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su-bai took out a random building blueprint from the storage space. Tip: the resources are ready. Do you want to start building random buildings? Put up. Su-bai muttered silently. Wood 3000. Stone 3000. Iron block 3000. A ball of light appeared out of thin air, bursting into dazzling colors. You can vaguely see the outline of a dark purple building slowly taking shape inside. I wonder what kind of building can be randomly generated. I'm really looking forward to it. Su-bai's eyes were burning, staring at the dark purple light group in front of him. At this moment, if you say you are not nervous, it would be a lie. His current mood is like that of a lottery player, hoping to get lucky and get a surprising result. Time passed by minute. The outline of the building inside the light group becomes increasingly clear and three-dimensional. Surprisingly, this building does not look like a dead thing. It seems to be squirming back and forth, exuding bursts of powerful aura. Moreover, ordinary buildings can be built in tens of seconds. A full 5 minutes had passed now. The building has yet to take shape. Great. The more time passes, the more it proves that the type and quality of this building must be extraordinary. Su-bai moved his steps and walked up to the light group, his eyes full of expectation. Now, the light group has expanded to several meters high. However, due to the light film covering the outside, the scenery inside cannot be seen. Somehow, Subai seemed to be able to feel that he had a subtle connection with this building, reminiscent of the third characteristic of the interstellar Zerg. The Lord controls the Zerg swarm through sensory transmission, therefore, he judged that this should be a building related to the interstellar Zerg. Only everything related to the interstellar Zerg could be sensed in Subai's mind. Buildings like the Barracks and the Manor have no connection with him. Next moment, the system prompt sounded suddenly. Congratulations to the new Lord Subai, the random building has been constructed. Then, the light dissipated. In front of Subai's eyes, a dark purple building appeared. It is 5 meters high and 3 meters wide. Actually, it's called a building, but it's more like a giant creature. It has a complete skeleton, covered with wriggling skin and accompanied by sharp thorns, which makes it look uniquely beautiful. Oh my God, what kind of building is this? I've never seen it in textbooks. Subai's eyes widened and he couldn't help scratching his head. Obviously, the building in front of him was beyond his cognition. After all, the courses in schools and military districts have never introduced such strange buildings. With a thought, he checked the information about this building. Evolution cavity, level, LV1, quality, the ultimate myth, unique, exclusive building for the interstellar Zerg, introduction. The evolution chamber is a military research center where the interstellar Zerg evolve their ground forces to become more powerful and efficient. Function. Enable the Zerg ground unit upgrade plan. The current evolutionary sequence can be selected. Springtail, what the hell? So strong. Subai's pupils shrank sharply, with a look of surprise on his face. Obtaining this exclusive building of the interstellar Zerg, the evolution chamber, seems not to be random, but destined, because the second characteristic of the interstellar Zerg is that under certain conditions, the troops can complete the reorganization and strengthening of the genetic sequence and evolve into more advanced individuals. Subai wondered about this certain condition for a long time. How can we start the evolution of the interstellar Zerg? It turns out that such a building called the evolution chamber is needed, so Subai felt that this building was destined to belong to him. Currently, there is only one unit type for the interstellar Zerg, but we have been able to get a glimpse of the leopard, which proves the power of the interstellar Zerg. If we take another step forward and evolve into a more powerful individual in the future, wouldn't it become easier to sweep across the land of redemption? Thinking of this, Subai couldn't wait and opened the evolution sequence. There is currently only one option available, evolutionary sequence, springtail, hardened carapace. The outer skin of springtails has evolved and grown an extremely hard carapace, which greatly increases defense and can help springtails survive longer in fierce battles. Need. Biomass, 200. Rhino horn, 10. Ivory, 10. Harden the carapace and increase defense. It's great. Subai looked excited. If the springtail's defense was enhanced, it would help him kill more powerful monsters. In this way, the territory can develop more quickly. Later, the number of springtails increases. To have the blessing of this hardened carapace is extraordinary. It can completely make the vitality of the entire insect swarm more tenacious. It's just that we still need biomass. What is this? Subai frowned slightly and murmured to himself. Biomass is not mentioned in school or military courses. As expected, the resources needed by the interstellar Zerg can also be used to create some new tricks. Rhino horns and ivory are relatively easy to obtain. As long as you kill the corresponding wild monster, you will get it. As for something completely new like biomass, you can always discover it if you explore slowly. More haste, less speed. Take it easy. The hardened carapace of springtails must be successfully developed. Chapter 19 Night Falls, Sad Ghosts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dark as ink, the cold, frosty moonlight fell, reflecting the vast earth. Staring at the darkness outside the territory, Subai narrowed his eyes slightly and murmured to himself, this is the first night in the land of redemption. System announcements automatically appear in front of you. Announcement. When night falls, mysterious monsters will wake up at night, please be careful. Mysterious monster. Subai looked at the 10 springtails jumping around in the territory, and wondered whether the interstellar Zerg troops could defeat those mysterious monsters head-on. Of course, he is not a stubborn person. Even if you don't try this kind of thing, there is nothing to lose. In classes at school and in the military area, the dark night in the land of redemption was emphatically taught. Here, the sun sets, the moon rises, and night falls, many special monsters will appear. They only wake up at night and either fall into deep sleep or simply disappear during the day. It is different from the wild beasts encountered during the day. Monsters that appear at night often have some special abilities. Therefore, in the class of the military region, Wang Xinghua, the new leader of the Lord, emphasized many times that when entering the land of redemption for the first time, one must not leave the territory after dark and run around, otherwise, if you are not careful, you will be in disaster. Su Bai is a person who listens to advice, so, don't go out tonight. Then, he walked towards the cabin in the center of the territory. This is considered a small nest for each lord in the land of redemption. There are wooden beds, wooden tables, wooden stools and other basic daily necessities inside. Sleep. I hope I can recruit a more powerful unit tomorrow. Su Bai lay on the wooden bed, covered himself with a quilt, and fell into a deep sleep. At the same time, Bai Mengyu was standing on the edge of the territory, looking out at the darkness outside. The night is full of obstacles and difficulties for other lords, but perhaps, it is an opportunity for me. Blood elves have a racial talent, which is night vision. Under the influence of the power of nature, the pupils of the blood elves have evolved, and they can see everything clearly even in the pitch-black night. In other words, blood elves can see things in the dark, and even the field of vision is wider than during the day. As the darling of the night, darkness is the home of the blood elves. As a lord, Bai Mengyu also received the racial talent of night vision from the blood elves. It's really powerful. I can see even clearer than during the day. Bai Mengyu's pupils emitted a faint green light, and the scenery in the darkness instantly became clear. She looked at the 6 blood elf archers behind her and shouted, "Sisters, follow me and see what you can gain in the dark night." As night falls, it is not only full of crises, but also brings many opportunities. First, many beasts that are active during the day will go to sleep at night. Bai Mengyu can use the talent of night vision to kill the sleeping beast with one blow. In this way, not only can casualties be reduced, but the speed of killing enemies can also be greatly accelerated, and more resources can be obtained. Furthermore, some special ruins may appear in the dark night. If you are lucky, you are likely to get a lot of money. Tempted by the wooden treasure chest she accidentally obtained during the day, Bai Mengyu also wanted to go out at night and try her luck. "Follow me, slow down, and if you find a monster, report it in time." Bai Mengyu ran quickly and said softly. 6 blood elf archers, holding longbows, followed closely behind. A few moments. "Lord, there is a sleeping giant bear 300 meters to the right. Follow me and kill it." Bai Mengyu's eyes lit up. He changed direction and rushed over. After getting closer, I found that it was a level 7 giant bear. If you fight with it during the day, it will take a lot of effort, and you may not even be able to kill it, but now, it's very simple. Aim at its head and kill it with one hit. Bai Mengyu said quickly. The 6 blood elf archers narrowed their eyes slightly, opened their bows and nocked arrows, and shot out at once. Whoosh! Between the electric light and flint, the arrow hit accurately. The giant bear was killed before it could even let out a scream. Strong beast soul. Quantity, 1. Automatic decomposition. Soul plus 28. Tip, explode the item and get 5 primary energy gems. Wow! So cool! Bai Mengyu's face was filled with a smile. Sure enough, with the ability of night vision, it is really powerful to kill sleeping monsters in the dark. Not bad. Keep exploring. Bai Mengyu was in high spirits, leading the blood elf archers and marching again into the darkness ahead. After advancing about 500 meters, suddenly, a black shadow appeared in front of him. "Wait, there's something happening," Bai Mengyu whispered. With super night vision ability, look carefully. This time, I saw it very clearly. It was a humanoid monster, wrapped in a gray sarong, floating on the ground. There is no entity, and it seems to be a ghost-like existence. The body is sometimes transparent, and sometimes turns into substance. He held an old-fashioned oil lamp in his left hand, glowing with a dim green light. In his right hand he held a pair of rusty long-bladed scissors. The most eye-catching thing is the huge tombstone it carries behind it. Holy shit, this monster looks a bit scary. Bai Mengyu frowned slightly, and with a thought, the monster's detailed information appeared. Sad ghost, quality, excellent. Level, LV12. Introduction, the ghost wandering in the dark night, carrying a heavy tombstone behind him, seems to be telling the grievances of his life. Note: immune to normal physical attacks. Chapter 23 Edged Sickle, Twisted Bone Spurs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'll go, level 12, excellent quality, immune to ordinary physical attacks. How do you fight this? Bai Mengyu's expression changed, and there was a hint of anxiety in her eyes. Sure enough, when you leave the territory at night, you will encounter these very powerful monsters. For the new lords who have just entered the land of redemption, it is impossible to defeat them. In particular, this sad ghost is actually immune to physical attacks, and the blood elf archers cannot cause any damage to it at all. There is no need to fight this battle. Sisters, you can't beat me, run away. Bai Mengyu turned her head, looked at the 6 blood elf archers, and shouted repeatedly. Then, she took big steps and headed towards the territory at a speed of 100 meters. The sad ghost moved its body and pursued for dozens of meters. Then, he stopped, continued in other directions, and started wandering around aimlessly. Bai Mengyu turned her head and saw that the sad ghost had given up its pursuit. She felt like she was being pardoned and breathed a sigh of relief. However, after this came out, she didn't dare to continue wandering. Leading the blood elf archers quickly returned to the territory. It's better to wait until we have more powerful troops in the future. It won't be too late to go out at night. Bai Mengyu murmured to himself, turned around and returned to the cabin in the middle of the territory, closed his eyes and fell asleep. The other side, Zhao Xiangtian stared at the darkness outside the territory. A trace of greed flashed in his eyes. Previously, I heard from a senior in the military region that there was a lord of the Dragon Kingdom who went out to explore late at night and discovered an ancient ruins. There was no sign of any monster inside. It's packed full of treasures of all kinds. Since then, the strength of the Dragon Kingdom Lord has soared like a rocket. Every time he thought about this matter, Zhao Xiangtian felt like there were thousands of ants scurrying around in his heart, making him feel itchy. He eagerly hopes that his strength can improve quickly. At the very least, he couldn't be compared to Su Bai. For some unknown reason, Su Bai took the lead in raising the territory to level 2. There must be some secret in this. They are all classmates from the same school and the same class. It would be too embarrassing if Su Bai really compares to them. The one he awakened was an orc, with powerful combat power. As for Su Bai, what he awakened was trash like the Zerg. If you are not as good as him, you will be laughed to death by those old classmates after you go back. Thinking of this, Zhao Xiangtian no longer hesitated and said, "The injured soldier stays, and the rest follow me." Under the protection of 3 orc infantry, Zhao Xiangtian left the territory and entered the darkness ahead. You can only see a few dozen meters away, so it's a bit difficult. There was a trace of embarrassment on Zhao Xiangtian's face. However, in order to steadily surpass Su Bai, he still bit the bullet and continued walking forward. Suddenly, he felt as if he had stepped on a very soft object under his feet. He lowered his head and took a look. It turned out to be a sleeping level 3 mutant wild wolf, and it happened to step on its tail. Immediately, Zhao Wu was very happy. This wolf slept really well. As expected, going out at night will yield unexpected results. If you encounter such a sleeping beast, you can kill it in your sleep easily and effortlessly. Do it. Zhao Xiangtian slowly took a step back and whispered to the orc infantry on the side. The orc infantry received the order and waved their battle axes. Oh, the mutated wild wolf died instantly. Weak beast soul. Quantity, 1. Automatic decomposition. Soul +3. Cool. Zhao Xiangtian shouted wildly in his heart. Killing monsters at night is really efficient. If we continue at this pace, we will be able to generate a lot of resources in one night. Moreover, there will not be any casualties. Just when Zhao Xiangtian was feeling happy, suddenly, a large green light lit up in front. Roar. Immediately afterwards, bursts of wolf howls sounded. Zhao Xiangtian's expression changed and he looked around. Only then did I realize that due to the dim light, I had unknowingly broken into a wolf den. Those dense green lights are all mutated wild wolves I rely on. It must have been the sound of the tomahawk swinging just now that woke up the wolves. Run! Without any time to think, Zhao Xiangtian turned around and ran away. The wolves roared, spread out their hooves, and chased after them. The 3 orc infantrymen protected Zhao Xiangtian, fought and retreated, and fled quickly towards the territory. After a fierce battle, at the cost of the life of an orc infantryman, Zhao Xiangtian finally escaped back to his territory, looking at the howling wolves outside the territory. He was afraid again and again. Why can other people find treasures when they go out late at night? But when I went out late at night, I accidentally fell into the wolf's den and almost died. For a moment, he felt like crying. From now on, I will never dare to go out casually again at night. The next day, early morning, as soon as Su Bai opened his eyes, the system prompt sounded in his ears. Tip: the number of free recruitments in the barracks has been refreshed. Current free times, 1. The barracks have been refreshed. Suddenly, Su Bai lost all sleep. He quickly put on his clothes, left the cabin and came to the entrance of the barracks. Start recruiting. As soon as the words fell, the barracks glowed brightly and was covered with a transparent mask. Su Bai stared at the gate of the barracks with deep anticipation in his eyes. I wonder what kind of interstellar Zerg unit we will get this time. I hope I have better luck, and at the very least, I am a little more advanced than the springtails. In this way, Su Bai was satisfied. The waiting time is always long. Although only a minute had passed, it felt like an hour to him. At this moment, the light in the barracks has dissipated. A semi-erect snake-like creature slowly walked out of the barracks gate. It couldn't be called walking, exactly, because the creature didn't have feet. It is more than 3 meters long, has a colorful snake crown on its head, and moves like a snake. The overall body shape is like a rattlesnake standing upright. The most exaggerated thing is the pair of huge 3-edged sickles on its forelimbs, combined with the twisted bone spurs all over his body. It looks very eye-catching. Hydralisk. Level, LV1. Race, Interstellar Zerg. Quality, the ultimate myth. Weapons, 3-edged sickle/melee. Bone needle/ long-range attack. Talent, super metabolism. Skill, none. Combat power, level 4. Loyalty. 100. Introduction. There are countless armor-piercing spine needles hidden in the bone plates under the hydralisk carapace, which can be fired at enemies attacking from the air or the ground. The spine needles are very fast and can easily penetrate special steel plates several centimeters thick. As soon as he came out, he had level 4 combat power, so strong. Su Bai was ecstatic, and the corners of his mouth turned up with joy. The troops of the interstellar Zerg are indeed extremely powerful, especially this hydralisk. Not only can it attack in melee, but it can also launch bone needles and perform long-range attacks. In this way, you can be more flexible and display huge combat power when facing different terrains and monsters.